Welcome to Outside Views Politics 101. Today we're diving into a topic that shapes how governments are formed, policies are enacted, and societies are represented: voting systems. More specifically, we'll be exploring three major types of voting systems: first past the post, proportional representation, and ranked choice voting. Each of these systems has its own strengths, weaknesses, and quirks that influence elections in profound ways. The choice of a voting system is not just a technical detail. It affects everything from the type of candidates who run for office to how power is distributed in government. Understanding these systems is crucial for anyone who cares about how democracy functions. Let's start with first past the post, often abbreviated as FPTP. This system is widely used in countries like the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. It's one of the simplest voting systems, which may explain its popularity. And here's how it works. In each electoral district, voters cast a single vote for their preferred candidate. The candidate with the most votes wins, regardless of whether they achieve an outright majority. At first glance, first past the post seems straightforward and efficient. It often produces clear winners, allowing governments to form quickly, but this simplicity comes at a cost. One of the biggest criticisms of first past the post is its tendency to produce distorted outcomes. Because winning only requires a plurality of votes, a candidate can secure victory even if the majority of voters preferred someone else. For example, in a three-way race, a candidate would win with just 35% of the vote, leaving 65% of voters effectively unrepresented. And this phenomenon often leads to what's known as the spoiler effect, where similar candidates split the vote, allowing a less popular candidate to win. It also tends to favor larger established parties while disadvantaging smaller parties and independents. This is why first past the post systems often result in two-party dominance, as seen in the United States. Next, let's turn to proportional representation, or PR. This system is designed to allocate seats in proportion to the number of votes each party receives. It's commonly used in countries like Germany, Sweden, and the Netherlands. Proportional representation comes in various forms, but the most common is the party list system. In this version, voters cast their ballots for a party rather than an individual candidate. The parties then receive seats in the legislature based on their share of the vote. For instance, if a party wins 30% of the vote, they get roughly 30% of the seats. The key advantage of PR is that it ensures a more accurate reflection of the electorate's preferences. Smaller parties have a better chance of gaining representation, leading to a more diverse and inclusive political landscape. This system also tends to encourage coalition governments, as no single party often wins an outright majority. However, proportional representation is not without its drawbacks. Coalition governments can be less stable as they require multiple parties to work together, which doesn't always go smoothly. Additionally, because voters are often choosing parties rather than individual candidates, there can be a sense of detachment from the people who ultimately represent them. And finally, let's discuss ranked choice voting, or RCV. This system, also known as instant runoff voting, is gaining popularity in places like Australia, Ireland, and several US cities. In ranked choice voting, voters rank the candidates in order of preference: first, second, third, and so on. If a candidate receives a majority of first choice votes, they win outright. If no candidate achieves a majority, the candidate with the fewest votes is eliminated, and their votes are redistributed to the remaining candidates based on second preferences. This process continues until one candidate has a majority. Ranked choice voting addresses many of the issues associated with first past the post. It reduces the spoiler effect, as voters can support their preferred candidate without fearing that they will waste their vote. It also encourages more civil campaigns, as candidates aim to be the second or third choice of their opponent's supporters. However, RCV is more complex than the other systems, which can make it harder for voters to understand. It also requires more effort to administer and count, which can lead to delays in announcing results. Despite these challenges, advocates argue that its benefits far outweigh its drawbacks. So how do these systems compare? First past the post is simple and efficient, but often leads to distorted outcomes and underrepresentation. Proportional representation ensures a closer match between votes and seats, but can result in fragmented legislatures and unstable coalitions. Ranked choice voting offers a balance by reducing the spoiler effect and promoting majority support, though it requires a higher level of voter engagement and administrative resources. The choice of a voting system reflects a society's priorities. Is the goal to achieve quick and decisive outcomes, as in first past the post? Is it to ensure broad representation, as in proportional representation? Or is it to balance fairness with functionality, as in RCV? It's worth noting that no voting system is perfect. Each has trade-offs, and what works well in one country might not suit another. Cultural, historical, and political contexts play a significant role in determining which system is most effective. As we look to the future, debates over voting systems are likely to intensify. Calls for reform are growing in many countries, driven by concerns about representation, fairness, and voter engagement. Whether these debates lead to meaningful change remains to be seen. So thank you for joining me again today on Outside Views Politics 101. And if you found this exploration of voting systems insightful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below the video. This is Outside Views Politics 101, and I look forward to seeing you next time as we delve into another important topic shaping our political landscape. And the next video is already right here in the end screen.